England is taking a giant stride in cancer treatment. Buckle up for a game-changer, a cancer treatment that takes merely 7 minutes. Yes, you read it right. This innovative approach is all set to transform the way cancer patients receive their treatment, shaving off a significant chunk of the time they spend at the hospital. So, what's the big fuss all about? Let's break it down. Traditionally, cancer treatment often involved hours of waiting, endless drips, and the frustration of finding that elusive vein. Not anymore. Enter atezolizumab, a superhero drug that's giving cancer cells a run for their money. Sold under the name Tecentriq, this wonder drug is a monoclonal antibody medication, snuffing out a protein that tries to play bodyguard for cancer cells. Without that guard, the immune system gets a free pass to wage its war against cancer. But here's the twist: instead of the usual marathon session with the 4-drip, atezolizumab now comes as a quick injection. 7 minutes, that's all it takes. Just imagine a measly 7 minutes and you're on your way, leaving those long hours behind. The significance of this isn't just about ticking the clock faster. It's about reclaiming time. Time that's precious for patients and their families. Instead of twiddling thumbs and counting seconds, patients can now swiftly breeze through their treatment and be on their way back to life. It's a small change with a colossal impact. Now, you might wonder, why didn't they think of this sooner? That's a thought worth exploring. We've been tethered to the traditional 4-drip method for decades. But hey, isn't progress all about questioning the old ways? This isn't just a shift in how we treat cancer, it's a paradigm shift in how we think about cancer care. Let's not forget the numbers. Around 3,600 patients in England get a dose of atezolizumab annually. Imagine if each of them could slice off those extra minutes. That's hours saved collectively. Hours that patients can spend with their loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply taking a breather. It's not just a treatment, it's a prescription for a better quality of life. But what about the naysayers? There will always be skeptics, the ones who ask, does faster mean better? Fair question. Studies, however, wave a resounding flag in favor of speed. Under-the-skin injections not only reduce pain but also make the treatment process smoother. Think about it, no more agony of finding that perfect vein. Plus, let's not ignore the emotional weight it lifts. Less time hooked up to machines, more time feeling like yourself. Now, let's play devil's advocate. Are we sacrificing thoroughness for the sake of speed? A valid concern. But fear not, for the injection doesn't compromise the efficacy. The drug does its superhero duty just as well in those 7 minutes. It's not a shortcut, it's a smarter path. The implications don't end with patients. Healthcare professionals are in for a win too. Faster treatments mean more patients can be attended to in a day. Imagine the domino effect: shorter wait lists, quicker turnarounds, and more lives touched. It's a revolution that extends beyond the confines of a hospital room. Change, however remarkable, isn't without its challenges. The big question mark here is accessibility. Will every patient, irrespective of their location or background, get a fair shot at this groundbreaking treatment? Will this innovation bridge the gap or widen it? It's an aspect we can't afford to overlook. And there's something inherently powerful in this shift. It's a declaration that we're not settling, that the medical field refuses to stay static. It's a reminder that solutions are often simpler than we imagine, hiding in plain sight. It beckons us to question other routines, to scrutinize other normals, and to wonder if there's a 7-minute hack for other challenges. In a world that's constantly hustling, where time is gold and moments are diamonds, a 7-minute cancer treatment feels like a page from a science fiction book. But it's not fiction, it's fact. It's not just a story, it's a chapter in the evolution of medical care. So, as we look at this innovation with a mix of awe and anticipation, let's also turn the spotlight inward. What other fields are crying out for their 7-minute breakthrough? What other routines need a dash of innovation? As cancer treatment gets a 900 seconds makeover, who knows what else could be brewing in the cauldron of possibilities? In a world where answers often lead to more questions, one thing's for sure, a 7-minute revolution has begun, and the tick-tock of change has never sounded this promising. Brimming with digital screens and endless notifications, there's a quiet power that resides in the written word. The act of putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard isn't just about forming sentences, it's about creating entire universes, unbounded by the constraints of reality. Welcome to the realm of limitless imagination, where words are the brushstrokes that paint vibrant landscapes and shape the contours of new realities. The gateway to creation. Words are more than mere tools of communication. They are the keys to a gateway that leads to realms yet undiscovered. When we write, we don't just describe, we invent, we innovate, we transcend. Consider the authors who have etched their names into history: J.R.R. Tolkien, whose words birthed Middle-earth, and J.K. Rowling, who conjured the enchanting world of wizards and spells. These writers didn't just tell stories, they crafted entire dimensions from the ink of their pens. Imagination, the architect's workshop. Imagination isn't confined to children's playrooms. It's the architect's workshop where the blueprints of worlds are sketched, where reality meets possibility. With the tap of a key, we can summon characters with lives of their own, civilizations that rise and fall, and landscapes that stretch beyond the horizon. Imagination is the clay from which we mold, the raw material we transform into grand tapestries of narrative. Beyond the horizon of reality. Why do we yearn for worlds beyond our own? Is it the thrill of exploration or the desire for escape? In the stories we weave, we often find echoes of our aspirations, our fears, and our curiosities. The distant galaxies of science fiction, the mystical realms of fantasy, or the historical epics of the past, they all offer windows into the human experience. But what compels us to embark on these journeys of the mind? The power of connection. As we lose ourselves in the worlds we create, we find a peculiar paradox. The more fantastical the setting, the more relatable the emotions. Whether it's a dragon-ridden kingdom or a dystopian future, the struggles and triumphs of characters resonate because they reflect our own. In the act of shaping stories, we're reminded of our shared humanity, bound by emotions that transcend time and space. Writing, a conversation across time. Words are more than just a medium for storytelling, they're a conversation across time. The thoughts we pen today might be perused by someone not yet born, bridging the gap between generations. As we put our ideas into words, we create a time capsule of our thoughts, hopes, and dreams. It's an act of preservation, a way to defy the fleeting nature of existence. Confronting the blank canvas. But the act of creation isn't without its challenges. Every writer has stared down the intimidating blank canvas, where ideas refuse to materialize. How do we tap into the wellspring of imagination when it runs dry? How do we navigate the labyrinth of writer's block? Perhaps the answer lies in seeking inspiration from the world around us, the stories in nature, the whispers in crowded streets, the mysteries of the cosmos. Words as catalysts for change. Beyond entertainment, words have the power to ignite change. From historical manifestos to contemporary activism, writing has sparked revolutions, challenged norms, and forged new paths. When we craft stories that tackle societal issues or explore uncharted territories, we're not just creating art, we're catalyzing conversations that shape the world. Embracing the journey. In the realm of boundless imagination, there are no maps or compasses. Each writer embarks on a unique journey, discovering landscapes that defy conventions. The creative process is a voyage of self-discovery, a pilgrimage that unearths hidden facets of the mind. Along the way, we grapple with self-doubt, we dance with inspiration, and we wrestle with words until they surrender their magic. The endless frontier. So, why do we write? Is it the promise of fame or the allure of fortune? Perhaps it's something deeper, The long-buried time capsule from West Point has unveiled its secrets after nearly 2 centuries. The initial disappointment that surrounded the opening of the lead box quickly transformed into excitement as the hidden treasures within came to light. The anticipation was palpable as the archaeologist, Paul Hudson, pried open the time capsule, buried by West Point cadets 200 years ago. What was initially thought to be a lackluster find soon took an unexpected twist. Amidst the sediment and silt, an astonishing discovery awaited: 6 silver American coins, hailing from the years 1795 to 1828, along with a commemorative medal. It's hard to imagine the feeling that must have surged through Hudson as he unearthed these tangible pieces of history. These coins, each telling their own stories of bygone eras, now carry an additional tale of resilience. Crafted and used during a tumultuous period in American history, they have managed to endure the test of time. What's more, some of these coins are estimated to be valued at over $1,000, raising questions about their past owners and the circumstances that led to their inclusion in the time capsule. Paul Hudson, the West Point archaeologist, expressed his initial surprise and delight at the unexpected find. "When I first found these," he shared, "I thought, man, it would have been great to have found these on stage." It's a sentiment that many can relate to, the thrill of discovering something precious and historically significant. The contents of the time capsule not only shed light on the past, but also offer a glimpse into the meticulous efforts that went into its creation. The lead container, carefully concealed at the base of a monument commemorating Revolutionary War hero Thaddeus Kosciuszko, is a testament to the cadets' desire to preserve their legacy for future generations. The fact that this capsule was meant to stand the test of time becomes all the more evident. As Hudson continues to analyze the sediment, probing for additional clues about the original contents, one cannot help but wonder about the tales that remain untold. What else could have been stored within that box? What stories have yet to be uncovered? The damaged seam that likely allowed moisture to seep in serves as a reminder of the unpredictable nature of history's preservation. However, Hudson's determination to sift through the sediment in hopes of finding more fragments of the past serves as a beacon of hope. Interestingly, this event draws parallels to another iconic moment in television history, Geraldo Rivera's much-anticipated opening of Al Capone's vault in the 1980s. Just as Rivera's venture turned out to be a disappointment, West Point's initial reveal appeared lackluster when the time capsule yielded only mud and silty sediment. However, the contrast lies in the subsequent unfolding of events. While Rivera's vault remained empty, West Point's lead box turned out to be a repository of history, albeit hidden beneath layers of sediment. The unexpected discovery raises questions about the preservation of historical artifacts. How do we ensure that the stories we aim to pass down through generations remain intact and accessible? The challenges of preserving delicate materials over centuries are evident, but the revelation of these silver coins speaks to the resilience of tangible artifacts. In the end, the West Point time capsule has taught us that appearances can be deceiving. What seemed like a bust at first glance has turned out to be a treasure trove of historical significance. The silver coins and the stories they carry are a testament to the human desire to leave a mark on history, to preserve moments for those who come after us. As Paul Hudson meticulously examines each coin, as he brushes away the sediment of time, he not only uncovers the past, but also highlights the power of perseverance. The journey from disappointment to elation mirrors the broader journey of historical preservation, a journey that continues to be both challenging and rewarding. As we celebrate this unexpected find, we are reminded that history often has a way of surprising us. The West Point time capsule is more than just a relic of the past. It's a reminder that the stories of those who came before us are waiting to be discovered, even when they're hidden beneath layers of time. In an extraordinary feat of international cooperation, a crew of 4 astronauts hailing from 4 distinct countries embarked on a momentous mission to the International Space Station, ISS. The SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, accompanied by the Crew Dragon spacecraft, lifted off from the iconic Pad 39A at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, marking a historic chapter in space exploration. The astronauts, representing NASA, Denmark, Japan, and Russia, joined forces for this groundbreaking venture. A notable departure from the norm, this mission saw every seat aboard the spacecraft occupied by an astronaut from a different nation. Previously, NASA had predominantly featured its own astronauts on SpaceX taxi flights. However, due to a fortunate twist of scheduling, this launch witnessed a truly global crew setting out on a shared odyssey. The diversity and unity of the team were palpable as they clutched each other's gloved hands upon reaching orbit. With a common objective of reaching the ISS, these astronauts, from contrasting backgrounds, underscored the power of collaboration in space exploration. Their joint endeavor served as a testament to the spirit of international partnership that transcends geographical boundaries. Jasmine Mobley, a NASA astronaut of Iranian descent, is spearheading this mission as the commander. Her journey from her parents' escape during Iran's 1979 revolution to her marine pilot career, including flying attack helicopters in Afghanistan, showcases the resilience and determination that propelled her toward this remarkable opportunity. Mobley's aspiration to inspire young girls in Iran to dream big resonates as a potent example of the potential of self-belief. Andreas Mogensen, a representative of the European Space Agency, took a unique route to space. After acquiring an engineering degree, he worked on oil rigs off the West African coast. Despite the skepticism he faced, his conviction that skills honed in unconventional settings like oil rigs could have applications in space, as depicted in the movie Armageddon, ultimately contributed to his selection as Denmark's pioneer astronaut. Satoshi Furukawa from Japan brings his experience as a surgeon to the astronaut corps. His transition from a decade-long medical career to becoming an astronaut exemplifies the diverse skill sets required for space missions. Having previously visited the ISS, Furukawa's return showcases his enduring dedication to advancing humanity's presence in space. Russia's Konstantin Borisov, a relative newcomer to space exploration, took a distinct route. After studying business, he veered towards engineering and is involved in running a free diving school in Moscow. His involvement in the exhilarating sport of free diving, where participants rely on breath-holding techniques instead of oxygen tanks, adds a unique layer to the crew's diverse skill set. The mission's significance goes beyond the individual journeys of its crew members. It embodies a profound message about global collaboration and the shared pursuit of unraveling the mysteries of space. This united front not only propels scientific advancements, but also serves as a beacon of hope and unity on Earth. Joseph Aschbacher, Director General of the European Space Agency, succinctly captured the ethos of the mission when he emphasized the essential nature of international cooperation. Space exploration inherently transcends borders, serving as a reminder that humanity's destiny lies beyond the confines of a single nation or continent. The collaborative nature of this venture prompts questions about the role of unity in tackling challenges that extend far beyond our planet. As the spacecraft continues its journey toward the ISS, the crew's presence on the space station since March prepares to hand over the baton. This seamless transition demonstrates the meticulous planning and preparation that underlie space missions. It also highlights the ability of space agencies and astronauts to adapt to changing circumstances, a quality that undoubtedly contributes to the success of endeavors like this one. In a world often divided by differences, the narrative of these 4 astronauts embarking on a shared expedition resonates as a refreshing testament to the potential of unity. The challenges of space travel demand a convergence of talents, perspectives, and expertise. In embracing this collaborative spirit, humanity takes a step closer to realizing the dream of uncovering the secrets of the cosmos. In conclusion, the journey of these 4 astronauts from 4 nations to the International Space Station is a story of convergence, determination, and shared aspirations. Their presence aboard the ISS symbolizes not only scientific progress, but also the harmonious synergy that can emerge when diverse minds collaborate to achieve a common goal. As we marvel at their voyage, we're compelled to reflect on the broader implications of international cooperation and the remarkable feats it can bring forth. A robbery suspect, now known as the Bird Bandit, has left the community of Fairfax County, Virginia, in shock. The suspect, described as a Hispanic man in his late 20s or early 30s sporting a black cowboy hat, managed to carry out a knife-wielding robbery at a local McDonald's in the Seven Corners area. What makes this crime even more peculiar is the fact that the suspect was accompanied by not 1, not 2, but 3 parrots during his escapade. The incident unfolded on a Tuesday morning, catching both patrons and employees off guard. With a swift display of a knife, the suspect managed to make off with an undisclosed sum of money, leaving behind a shaken atmosphere at the fast food restaurant. As the community rallies to find answers, one question seems to hang in the air: what prompted this unusual alliance between a robber and his feathered companions? Caught on nearby 7-Eleven surveillance cameras, the suspect stood out not just because of his menacing act, but also due to the presence of his avian sidekicks. 2 parrots perched atop his hat, while a third one sat comfortably on his shoulder. Their colorful plumage contrasted sharply with the tense situation at hand. Speculation arises: were these parrots a well-thought-out diversion, or did their presence hold a deeper meaning? Authorities are actively seeking leads and information from the public to unravel the mystery behind the Bird Bandit. The suspect's daring escape in a blue SUV has left the community on edge, prompting a wave of vigilance. With the image of a man adorned with parrots etched into their minds, residents are left wondering about the true nature of this bizarre criminal. As investigators piece together the puzzle, questions about the parrots' involvement linger. Were they trained for a specific purpose? Did they serve as a distraction, allowing the suspect to execute his plan undetected? Or could they be innocent bystanders, merely along for the ride? Their absence during the actual robbery raises suspicions about their role in the entire ordeal. While this crime has certainly baffled the locals, it also serves as a reminder of the unexpected and multifaceted nature of criminal activities. Beyond the shock factor, it prompts us to consider the lengths individuals will go to achieve their goals and escape the grasp of the law. The Bird Bandit case challenges preconceived notions about criminal behavior and the tactics employed by those seeking to evade capture. As the Fairfax County Police Department urges citizens to come forward with any information that could aid in the investigation, the community grapples with an amalgamation of feelings: fear, curiosity, and bewilderment. The presence of the parrots adds an almost surreal quality to the situation, making it difficult to comprehend the motivations behind such an audacious act. In the midst of this peculiar incident, a thought-provoking question arises: how much can appearances deceive? The stark contrast between the menacing act of robbery and the vibrant, almost whimsical presence of the parrots leaves room for contemplation. Were the parrots intended to make the suspect appear less threatening? Or did they serve as symbols of defiance, challenging societal norms in an unexpected way? The Bird Bandit case serves as a stark reminder that truth is often stranger than fiction. As the community comes to terms with this bizarre event, it's essential to separate fact from speculation. The parrots, with their enigmatic presence, might hold the key to unraveling the motivations behind this audacious crime. The image of a man flanked by these colorful companions lingers, prompting us to dig deeper and uncover the layers of this perplexing story. In a world where criminal activities often follow predictable patterns, the Bird Bandit case stands out as an anomaly, a stark departure from the norm. As investigators work tirelessly to track down the suspect and his feathered accomplices, one can't help but wonder about the stories behind the parrots. Were they unwitting participants, unwittingly drawn into a criminal act? Or were they, in their own avian way, the masterminds behind the entire operation? As the community waits for answers, the Bird Bandit case remains a testament to the unpredictability of human behavior. It challenges us to look beyond the surface, beyond the obvious, and consider the complexities that drive individuals to commit such audacious acts. With each passing day, the parrot's presence becomes more than just an eccentric detail. It becomes a symbol of the intrigue and mystery that shrouds this unforgettable crime. We often find ourselves overwhelmed by a multitude of options. But sometimes, the simplest remedies are the most effective. In this article, we'll dive into 3 everyday elements that can significantly impact your well-being: vitamin C, water, and sunlight. No fancy gimmicks or elaborate routines, just straightforward insights that can make a world of difference. Vitamin C, nature's vital elixir. Let's start with vitamin C, a powerhouse nutrient found abundantly in various fruits and vegetables. It's not just about preventing colds. Vitamin C plays a crucial role in boosting your immune system, aiding in wound healing, and even promoting healthier skin. But are you getting enough of it? Incorporating citrus fruits like oranges, strawberries, and kiwi into your daily diet can provide a substantial dose of this essential vitamin. And remember, consistency is key. It's not just a one-time fix, but a lifestyle choice. Hydration, the elixir of life. Next up, we have water, the elixir of life. It might sound like a cliché, but staying adequately hydrated is often overlooked. Your body relies on water for digestion, temperature regulation, and overall organ function. Dehydration can lead to fatigue, headaches, and a lack of focus. Are you drinking enough water throughout the day? Keep a reusable water bottle handy as a simple reminder to stay hydrated. Your body will thank you, and you'll likely notice a boost in energy and clarity. Sunlight, nature's bright idea. Now, let's talk about sunlight, nature's most underrated gift. Sunlight is a natural source of vitamin D, which is essential for maintaining strong bones and a healthy immune system. Just a brief exposure to sunlight can do wonders. Are you spending enough time outdoors? Even a short daily walk can make a significant difference. Of course, be mindful of sun protection to avoid harmful UV rays, but don't shy away from those sunlit moments that can uplift both your mood and health. The connection between the three. What's fascinating is the connection between these three elements: vitamin C, water, and sunlight. They aren't isolated factors, they interact in ways that amplify their benefits. Vitamin C-rich foods like berries and citrus fruits can enhance your skin's natural defense against sun damage. Hydration supports your body's ability to absorb nutrients, including vitamin C. And when you soak in sunlight, your body's synthesis of vitamin D is optimized. Simple steps to amplify your health. Here's a simple daily routine that incorporates these elements. Morning boost. Start your day with a glass of water. It kickstarts your metabolism and helps flush out toxins. Enjoy a bowl of fresh fruits rich in vitamin C for breakfast, a perfect way to nourish your body from the inside out. Sunlit breaks. During your lunch break, take a leisurely stroll outside. Whether it's a park or simply around the block, bask in the sunlight for a dose of vitamin D. Just 15 minutes can make a significant impact. Hydration habits. Keep your water bottle within arm's reach at all times. Set reminders if needed, and aim to finish a certain amount by lunch and again by dinner. Proper hydration keeps your body functioning optimally. Smart snacking. Opt for vitamin C-rich snacks like bell peppers, strawberries, or a small citrus fruit. It's an excellent way to maintain your energy levels throughout the day. Sunset unwind. Wind down your day with a calming cup of herbal tea. Reflect on the sunlight and water you've embraced throughout the day, appreciating the simple yet profound impact they have on your health. Final thoughts. Don't overlook the basics. Vitamin C, water, and sunlight are not just individual components, they are a harmonious trio that can elevate your health in remarkable ways. So, the next time you sip water, savor a vitamin C-rich snack, or relish a sunlit moment, remember that you're nurturing your body and embracing the essence of well-being. It's the small, consistent steps that pave the way for a healthier you. In the heart of North Dakota's Theodore Roosevelt National Park, an issue is brewing that has both nature enthusiasts and history aficionados on edge. The iconic wild horses that have long roamed these badlands are facing the possibility of removal, sparking a passionate debate about the future of these majestic creatures and their place within the park's landscape. For many visitors who wind their way along the park's scenic roads, the sight of wild horse bands grazing against the backdrop of the rugged terrain has become an emblem of the American West. These horses, seen as a living connection to the past, have captured the imagination of tourists and locals alike. However, recent proposals by the National Park Service have ignited concerns among advocates who vehemently oppose the idea of considering these horses as mere livestock. At the crux of the matter is the Park Service's endeavor to draft new livestock management plans, accompanied by an environmental assessment. This evaluation aims to delve into the potential consequences of different courses of action, whether it involves leaving things unchanged or removing the horses altogether. The latter scenario would involve capturing the horses and distributing some to tribes, with others potentially being auctioned off or entrusted to different entities. Alternatively, a strategy focused on curtailing reproduction could allow the horses to live out their natural lives within the park's boundaries. the horses have found allies in the form of government officials and advocacy groups, yet the future remains uncertain. One advocate, Chasing Horses Wild Horse Advocates President Chris Kman, passionately argues, at the end of the day, that's our national park paid for by our tax dollars, and those are our horses. We have a right to say what happens in our park and to the animals that live there. This sentiment echoes the broader debate over the balance between conservation efforts, historical significance, and the interests of the public. Park Superintendent Angie Richmond has noted that there is no specific law mandating the presence of the wild horses within the park's confines. Regardless of the decision, the park faces the challenge of adhering to a 1978 environmental assessment, which sets a target population range of 35 to 60 horses, significantly lower than the current count of around 200. However, Chris Kman, among others, advocates for maintaining a higher number of reproductive horses, between 150 and 200, to ensure genetic diversity and long-term viability. The history of these wild horses is a tale of twists and turns. Initially, they found themselves fenced into the park by accident after its establishment in 1947. In the park's early years, efforts were made to eliminate the horses, with methods ranging from shooting them on sight to enlisting local cowboys to round them up. Astonishingly, some horses were even sold to a nearby zoo to serve as food for predators. It wasn't until around 1970 that a new superintendent stumbled upon historical references to wild horses in the area during Theodore Roosevelt's time in the 1880s. This discovery prompted the park to shift its perspective, opting to keep the horses as a living testament to the open-range ranching era that once defined the region. While the park's stance towards the horses has evolved, lingering reservations remain within the Park Service. Castle McLaughlin, who conducted research on the horse's history while working for the Park Service, highlights that despite the decision to preserve the horses as a historic demonstration herd, the service wasn't wholeheartedly enthusiastic about the idea. As we grapple with the dilemma of the wild horses in Theodore Roosevelt National Park, important questions arise. How can we strike a balance between conserving the park's natural beauty and respecting its historical context? How should we weigh the sentiments of locals and visitors against the park's ecological needs? Is it possible to find a solution that accommodates both the horse's importance as a cultural symbol and the Park Service's mandate for responsible land management? The fate of these wild horses serves as a microcosm of broader conservation challenges across the country. It encapsulates the complexities of preserving history, protecting biodiversity, and managing the delicate equilibrium between human interests and the natural world. As the debate unfolds, it prompts us to consider not only the immediate fate of these horses, but also the broader principles that guide our approach to the conservation of our cherished national treasures. A 64-year-old Bahamian sailor found himself stranded on a desolate island in the Bahamas. For 3 long days, he fought against the odds, his resourcefulness and determination his only allies. It was a situation that tested his willpower to survive. But fate had a different plan, and the stage was set for a dramatic rescue mission that showcased the unwavering dedication of the U.S. Coast Guard. Picture this, a serene island, the size of just a few city blocks, nestled in the vast expanses of the Straits of Florida. Capsule, its name echoing like a whisper through the pages of history, was the unlikely backdrop for this gripping saga. With less than 6 square miles to call his temporary home, the sailor's resilience was pitted against the forces of nature. As his vessel met an untimely fate, rendered incapacitated during his voyage, a sense of isolation engulfed him. The turquoise waters that once beckoned with their beauty now seemed treacherous, and the promise of safety felt like a distant dream. But adversity has a way of bringing out the unexpected in us, and this sailor was equipped with a lifeline that would ultimately prove to be his salvation: flares. In those dire moments, stranded on the cusp of the blue horizon, he unleashed these fiery signals of distress. Their brilliance cut through the expanse like a plea, catching the attention of a vigilant Coast Guard aircraft patrolling nearby. It was a triumphant moment where human ingenuity met with the marvels of technology, and a rescue operation was set into motion. The U.S. Coast Guard, often unseen heroes of our maritime narratives, didn't hesitate. With precision and skill honed through countless drills, they dropped essential supplies, food, water, and a radio, to sustain the sailor until their arrival. The sailor's simple yet vital act of firing flares demonstrated the power of preparedness. His possession and correct use of this safety equipment served as a beacon of hope, a crucial reminder that in desperate situations, even the most straightforward tools can become instruments of survival. One can't help but marvel at the choreography of this rescue dance. The sailor's isolation and the Coast Guard's rapid response converged in an intricate ballet that showcased human vulnerability and the unwavering commitment of those who safeguard our shores. It was a testament to the intertwined relationship between individual actions and collective duty, a reminder that one man's distress signal rippled across the vast ocean, setting in motion a synchronized chain of events. As the Coast Guard cutter Paul Clark reached the sailor's temporary haven, the dance reached its crescendo. The sailor's endurance had brought him to this juncture, where the torch of responsibility was passed from lone survivor to skilled rescuers. With practiced efficiency, the transfer took place, and the man who had clung to hope was now on his way to safety. In the aftermath, questions linger. What if the sailor hadn't possessed those flares? What if the Coast Guard's patrol had taken a different route that day? Such inquiries remind us of the fragility of existence and the serendipitous nature of salvation. Yet, within these queries also lies the potency of preparation. The sailor's story compels us to ponder our own readiness for unforeseen challenges. Are we equipped with the tools, literal and metaphorical, to signal for help when the tides of life turn against us? In the final act of this gripping narrative, the sailor found himself in the care of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. His physical health was intact, a testament to his fortitude. But what of the mental and emotional resilience that sustained him during those solitary days? The island's isolation, the rhythmic lapping of waves, the solitude that nudges one to confront their own thoughts, what impact did these have? As the story of the stranded sailor reverberates through time, it's worth contemplating the themes it lays bare. Our planet, with its vast oceans and remote islands, can be both a playground and a perilous arena. The interplay of human spirit and nature's grandeur is a dance that unfolds daily, often unnoticed. And yet, when one man's plight is plucked from obscurity by the sweep of a Coast Guard searchlight, we're reminded of the stories that quietly play out beyond the shores of our awareness. So, let us not merely witness this tale as observers, but rather as participants. Let it kindle a spark of preparedness within us, prompting us to ask whether we, too, possess the flares that can pierce through the darkness when life's currents veer off course. And as we applaud the Coast Guard's swift action, let us acknowledge the unsung heroes who stand ready to answer distress calls, their dedication a beacon of hope in a world where even the most solitary cries for help can find their way to safety's embrace. France has been grappling with a wine surplus dilemma that has shaken up the country's wine industry. The once revered drink, so deeply intertwined with French culture and tradition, is now facing a significant challenge due to evolving consumer preferences and economic hurdles. Let's dive into the heart of the matter and explore how a whopping $215 million is being used to tackle this wine surplus head-on. The shift in sipping trends. France, known for its exquisite wines and vineyards, is witnessing a notable shift in drinking habits. The rise of craft beer has taken center stage, capturing the taste buds and preferences of a new generation. This surge in popularity has left wine producers grappling with the surplus of their beloved beverage. As beer gains momentum, wine's stronghold on French palates has wavered, prompting a pressing need for innovative solutions. From vineyards to hand sanitizers. In a bid to address this surplus, the French government is pouring $215 million into an unconventional solution, destroying excess wine and repurposing it into products like hand sanitizers and perfume. It's a pragmatic approach to salvage the situation, prevent a collapse in wine prices, and offer struggling winemakers a lifeline. Agriculture Minister Marc Fesneau has made it clear that this investment isn't just about tackling surplus, it's about helping winemakers secure sources of revenue amid turbulent times. A glimpse into transition. The wine industry's predicament isn't solely about consumption trends, it's a tangled web of interconnected issues. Overproduction, coupled with France's cost of living crisis, has resulted in tighter consumer wallets and reduced spending on indulgences like wine. This whirlwind of challenges has nudged some growers to make a daring move, ripping up vineyards to make way for alternative crops, such as olives. It's a bold pivot, signaling both adaptation and the necessity to survive in a dynamic market. Beer's rising bubble. The rise of craft beer in France paints a vivid picture of changing preferences. Over the years, the number of breweries has skyrocketed, transforming the landscape from a mere 246 in 2006 to a staggering almost 2,000 today. This surge is particularly concentrated in the northeast of the country, redefining what it means to indulge in a cold, refreshing beverage. But with beer's surge, questions arise: can wine regain its former glory? Is this shift irreversible, or could it just be a fleeting trend? European Union's insights. The situation isn't unique to France, it's a shared challenge across European countries. The European Union, acknowledging the decline in wine consumption, 10% in Spain, 15% in France, and a staggering 34% in Portugal, has approved emergency aid for the wine sector. Interestingly, despite the drop in consumption, wine production across the bloc has paradoxically risen by 4%. This intriguing dichotomy raises eyebrows and prompts a deeper reflection on the complex factors at play. Learning from the wine lake debacle. The European Union's historical memory casts a shadow on the current situation. Almost 2 decades ago, a surplus of wine led to a crisis nicknamed the wine lake. Now, as they grapple with a similar scenario, the EU's agricultural subsidies program has been reformed to address the root causes of overproduction. This revision marks an important stride toward sustainability and balance, aiming to prevent history from repeating itself. Final thoughts: uncorking the future. France's bold move to allocate $215 million to address the wine surplus issue is both pragmatic and ambitious. It's a reflection of a nation's determination to safeguard its rich viticultural heritage while embracing change. As craft beer's popularity soars, wine finds itself at a crossroads. Will it adapt, innovate, and reclaim its prominence, or will it remain in the shadow of shifting trends? The journey to uncorking the future of France's wine industry is paved with challenges and opportunities, offering a tantalizing taste of what's to come. A deadly fire tore through a 5-story building in Johannesburg, South Africa, leaving over 70 people dead. The tragic incident has cast a grim spotlight on the dire living conditions faced by squatters who had taken refuge in the building. The building, located in the heart of Johannesburg's central business district, had become a makeshift home for squatters who lacked proper housing options. These informal settlements, composed of makeshift shacks and structures, bore witness to the unforgiving flames that engulfed the building. Many occupants struggled to escape the inferno due to the maze of debris and structures, complicating the rescue efforts of the firefighters. The toll the blaze exacted is nothing short of harrowing. At least 73 individuals lost their lives, and it is feared that this count will rise as rescue operations continue. More than 50 people were injured, some resorting to desperate leaps from the burning building to save their lives. Among the deceased are 7 children, including a 1-year-old, a heart-rending reminder of the innocent lives caught in the tragedy. Robert Malodzi, a spokesperson for Johannesburg Emergency Services Management, expressed the gravity of the situation, saying, "Over 20 years in the service, I've never come across something like this." The building where the fire erupted had been one of many that were effectively hijacked by squatters due to the scarcity of affordable housing in Johannesburg. These dilapidated structures, often housing undocumented immigrants seeking shelter, stand as stark symbols of the housing crisis plaguing the city. As the South African winter sets in, the harsh cold drives desperate measures. Mxini Chwaku, a Johannesburg city councilman, shed light on the stark reality that many resort to lighting fires for warmth within these informal settlements. The question that looms is whether the desperation to stay warm inadvertently led to the inferno that claimed so many lives. This tragedy highlights the urgent need for affordable housing solutions in Johannesburg. The hijacked buildings, like the one consumed by fire, are a glaring indication of the systemic issues that must be addressed. The incident prompts us to ponder, how can a city with such vibrant economic prospects fall short in providing basic living conditions for its residents? What measures are being taken to prevent such catastrophes in the future? Moreover, this catastrophe calls into question the broader concerns of urban planning and safety regulations. Could more robust safety measures have prevented such a devastating loss of life? Are there contingency plans in place to swiftly respond to emergencies in these informal settlements? The somber reality is that this tragedy is not an isolated incident. It is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by marginalized communities living on the fringes of society. The lack of proper housing options, coupled with limited access to resources and opportunities, perpetuates a cycle of vulnerability. As we extend our thoughts and condolences to the victims and their families, we must also demand accountability from the authorities and seek tangible solutions to prevent such heartbreak in the future. The blaze that ravaged through the squatter building in Johannesburg serves as a distressing wake-up call, urging us to confront the uncomfortable truths about societal neglect and the urgent need for change. In the aftermath of this tragedy, we are left grappling with a multitude of questions. How can we ensure that such fires do not claim more lives in the future? How can we break the cycle of poverty and vulnerability that forces individuals into such precarious living situations? And most importantly, how can we, as a society, rise above complacency to ensure that every individual has access to safe and dignified housing? The fire in Johannesburg is a tragic event that demands more than just our empathy. It requires a united effort to address the systemic issues that allowed it to happen. It is a call to action to prioritize the well-being and safety of all residents, regardless of their socioeconomic status. Only through a collective commitment to change can we hope to prevent such devastating incidents from occurring again. Away from the clamor of our daily lives lies a captivating beauty that often goes unnoticed. Nature, in its silent and unassuming grandeur, holds secrets that are whispered by the wind. These whispers, carried on gentle breezes, tell stories of a world untouched by human hands. Have you ever taken a moment to listen to the wind as it rustles through the leaves of trees? It's a symphony of its own, a melody that has been playing since long before we arrived on this planet. The wind, that intangible force, is a storyteller. It carries with it the tales of far-off lands, the scent of distant oceans, and the echoes of ancient mountains. In the stillness of a forest, have you ever wondered about the conversations that take place among the trees? The wind is their messenger, relaying messages from one leaf to another, from the tallest branches to the roots hidden beneath the soil. It's a network of communication that predates our modern technologies, a system that operates seamlessly and without the need for wires or screens. As we wander through fields of wildflowers, the wind gently caresses our skin. Have you ever thought about the journey it has taken before reaching you? It has swept over deserts, danced across meadows, and whispered over vast oceans. With every touch, it carries with it the essence of its travels. It's as if the wind is a wanderer, collecting stories from every corner of the earth and then sharing them with those who care to listen. But in our fast-paced lives, do we truly take the time to listen? The wind's whispers are often drowned out by the noise of our own thoughts. We rush from one task to another, our minds preoccupied with the demands of modern living. We forget to pause and let the wind's stories wash over us. In indigenous cultures around the world, the wind has always held a special place. It's seen as a messenger of the spirits, a conduit between the physical and the metaphysical. The wind carries prayers, blessings, and messages to the heavens above. It's a reminder that there is more to our world than what meets the eye, that there are mysteries that can only be understood when we quiet our minds and open our hearts. So, how can we reconnect with this ancient storyteller? How can we learn to hear the whispers of the wind once again? It starts with slowing down, with carving out moments of stillness in our lives. It's about stepping outside and simply being present, allowing the wind to brush against our skin and carry away the worries that weigh us down. When was the last time you lay in the grass, gazing up at the sky, and let the wind play with your hair? When was the last time you closed your eyes and listened to the rustling leaves, imagining the stories they might be sharing? These simple acts of mindfulness can open us up to a world that exists beyond the screens and notifications, a world where the wind is the narrator and we are the audience. As we embrace the whispers of the wind, we find ourselves connected to something greater than ourselves. We become part of a narrative that spans generations, a story that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. The wind invites us to be curious, to be in awe of the beauty that surrounds us, and to remember that there is magic in the ordinary. So, the next time you feel the wind against your skin, take a moment to truly listen. Let go of the distractions, the worries, and the to-do lists. Be present in that moment and let the wind's whispers wash over you. Who knows what stories it carries? Who knows what insights it might offer? In a world that's always rushing forward, the wind reminds us to pause, to breathe, and to be part of the timeless tale it continues to tell. A truck transporting beehives encountered a mishap that led to the release of a staggering 5 million bees onto the roads of Burlington, Ontario, Canada. The incident took place on a seemingly ordinary Wednesday morning, stirring a flurry of activity as beekeepers and authorities rallied to address the situation. The beekeeping community was called into action when police contacted Michael Barber, the owner of Tri-City Bee Rescue, to assist in managing the unprecedented bee situation. The mishap had caused the hives to tumble off the truck, setting off a cloud of bees that quickly filled the air. Beekeepers from the area were summoned, and an endeavor to regain control ensued. As the beekeepers arrived on the scene, a sense of urgency was palpable. The bees, once settled in their hives and en route to their wintering site, found themselves dislodged due to loose securing straps. The driver of the truck recounted swerving to avoid an obstruction on the road, leading to the unfortunate incident. The hives, which had been their secure haven, were now airborne, leaving the bees agitated and without a home. Michael Barber recalled the chaotic scene, describing the cloud of bees as angry, confused, and homeless. This peculiar predicament was undeniably challenging, yet it carried a sense of ironic amusement. As Barber observed, despite the potential danger, the first responders and law enforcement officers opted to maintain a safe distance, while beekeepers donned their protective suits and bravely navigated the swarm. The beekeepers embarked on a mission to piece the hives back together, employing their expertise to restore order amidst the chaos. With determination, they managed to reassemble the hives, allowing the bees to regroup and recalibrate. In an awe-inspiring display of nature's resilience, most of the bees returned to their hives within a few hours. While some bee fatalities occurred and a handful of beekeepers endured stings, the overall outcome was a testament to the remarkable harmony between humans and these vital pollinators. Amidst the controlled chaos, questions inevitably arose. The incident brought to light the delicate balance between human activities and the intricate lives of bees. How often do such transport accidents threaten the livelihood of these essential creatures? Could improved safety measures prevent such mishaps and their subsequent impact on bee colonies? Moreover, how can such incidents be addressed without endangering both bees and humans alike? The truck driver's ordeal was particularly striking. Sustaining over 100 bee stings, he endured discomfort but fortunately escaped severe injury. This incident underlines the importance of understanding bee behavior and ensuring the safety of both professionals and bystanders in such circumstances. It begs the question of how emergency responders can be better equipped to handle situations involving swarms of bees. This incident, beyond its momentary spectacle, raises poignant ecological considerations. Bees, as pollinators, play an indispensable role in maintaining ecosystems and facilitating agricultural productivity. The mishap is a reminder of the complex interdependence of species and the far-reaching consequences of seemingly isolated incidents. How can we enhance public awareness about the vital role of bees and inspire collective action to safeguard their habitats and well-being? As the bees resumed their routines and beekeepers returned to their tasks, a renewed sense of gratitude and respect for these tireless pollinators lingered in the air. The incident, while unusual, echoed the imperative of fostering harmony between human activities and the natural world. It beckoned us to reflect on our responsibility as stewards of the environment and guardians of the delicate web of life that sustains us all. In the aftermath of the truck mishap that unleashed 5 million bees, Burlington, Ontario became a temporary stage for an awe-inspiring tale of resilience, collaboration, and the intricate dance between human and insect worlds. The incident's impact lingers, inviting us to ponder our relationship with the environment and the profound influence we wield over the creatures that coexist within it.